Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. As you can see on the screen, today we are going to discuss one question from the first chapter of partnership, uh, that is basically partnership fundamentals or fundamentals of partnership. And one of the important topics in the chapter, as we are all aware of, is past adjustment. So this question is based on that. So without further delay, let us see the question and let us discuss further about the topic and what this question is all about and why this question has been taken for today's discussion. So as you can see, three partners are there, K, M and G. I'm not calling taking their names fully, just first letter is enough. K, M and G are partners doing a paper business in Ludhiana. After the accounts of partnership have been drawn and closed, it was discovered that for the years ending 31st March 2013 and 2014, interest on capital has been allowed to partners at the rate of 6% per annum, although there is no provision for interest on capital in the partnership deed. Their fixed capitals were 2 lakhs, 1 lakh 60 and 1 lakh 20 respectively. During the last 2 years, they had shared the profits as under. Year and ratio is there. There is a kind of space here. So year and ratio is given. So year 31st March 2013, the ratio is 3:2:1. 31st March 2014, 5:3:2 is the ratio. Clearly, you are required to give necessary adjustment entry on 1st April 2014. This is the question. So as you can see, two things they have done so far. One is 6% interest on capital they have provided for the past 2 years, and second is during the last 2 years they had shared the profits as under. They have not mentioned that the sharing of profit is actually done wrongly. They didn't say anything like that. They are just saying only interest on capital was not there and interest on capital has been provided at the rate of 6% per annum. That means interest on capital was not there means in the profit and loss, that means partnership deed, they have not mentioned any kind of interest on capital. So you know that we are all aware that when there is no mention about the interest on capital in the partnership deed, then obviously they are not supposed to pay any interest on capital, but it has been already allowed to the partners. And next thing they are saying, profits were shared in the ratio of 3:2:1, 5:3:2. When they say about profits, remember that as of now they have not mentioned that the profit sharing ratio is wrong. They have mentioned why they have mentioned this ratio. That is the reason why I choose this question for today's discussion. Here the profit sharing ratios that they have used is correct only, but the problem is when they divided the profit, the divisible profit obviously only will be divided among the partners. As we all know, divisible profit only will be divided among the partners. So how to calculate the divisible profit again? How to calculate the divisible profit? Obviously, we will prepare the profit and loss appropriation account and we will remove the interest on capital from or reduce the interest on capital for that particular year from the available net profit, and we will divide it the remaining rest of the profit in that particular ratio, that is called divisible profit. The divisible profit has been also done wrongly in the 2 years. Obviously, when interest on capital is given wrongly, this one is also the profit also will be wrong only. You are required to give necessary adjusting entry on April 1, 2014. So meaning is like this, for the past 2 years, simple meaning is like this, past 2 years they have provided wrong interest on capital, that we have to reverse. Second is they, because of this reason of giving wrong interest on capital in the past years, also what happened, we have divided the wrong divisible profit also. So that is the question here. So first thing that you have to do here when you are solving this kind of questions are, first we need to assume, we are discussing a different method for solving this question. Different method for solving this question. First you have to assume a what to say, net profit. I'm just saying like that. because you must have done in a different manner. So we are showing, we are doing it in a different manner here. First we are assuming a net profit for both the years. We are assuming some amount of net profit, okay, net profit for both the years. So net profit I am taking as just like I am taking it as 1 lakh. So I am taking the net profit as 1 lakh. So as you can see on the screen, 1 lakh is the net profit that I am assuming. Then I am just drawing to draw the adjustment table where we are going to show the calculations. So first we are going to write the wrong amounts. Here, and I am just giving the name, first letter of the partners K, M and G. Wrong amounts, when I wrote, I mean this only. Wrong amounts means the amounts which has been already recorded wrongly in the capital account or accounts of the partners. So as we know, two amounts has been written wrongly in the capital account of the partners. First amount is interest on capital, second amount is divisible profit. So as we have assumed that net profit is 1 lakh, so divisible profit, from that value we can find wrong divisible profit, okay. So first year interest on capital, first year divisible profit I am doing separately. Second year interest on capital, second year divisible profit I am doing separately, because 2 years continuously we have made the mistakes or committed the errors. So this interest on capital and divisible profit I am taking for the first year, and again second year I am doing the same process. So interest on capital, as you can see here, first year or second year, whatever it is, they have given the fixed capitals of the partners. Fixed capitals of the partners is how 2 lakhs. As you can see, fixed capital of the partners were 2 lakhs, 1 lakh 60 and 1 lakh 20. So we are going to calculate the 6% of that amount. As it is fixed capital, you are aware that when it is fixed capital method that we are following, opening capital and closing capital will be same. So that means fixed capital method is given, or fixed capitals are given. Normally we are calculating interest on capital on the opening capital. In that place we will be calculating on the closing capital. Even if it is closing capital also we can calculate it, okay. Here date is not mentioned. Anyways, we are taking it as it is fixed capital, regardless of the date we can take the same values for the calculation. So first year interest on capital will be for K it is 12,000, okay. Second person it was 1 lakh 60. So 1 lakh 60 is 6%, which will give us 9,600. Next, when it comes to the third person, we will be getting the profit, interest on capital as 1,20,000 into 6, that is 7,200. 7,200. Now coming to next one, divisible profit. How to calculate the divisible profit for the first year? From 1 lakh we have to remove all the interest on capital. All the interest on capital means 12,000 is there, 9,600 is there, 7,200 is also there. So we will remove all this one by one. So you will be getting, when you are removing all these three values, all the interest on capital, I am just writing interest on capital. When you are removing, you will be getting 71,200. This 71,200 first year they have divided in the ratio of 3:2:1. So 71,200 is the divisible profit for first year. We are going to divide that in 3:2:1 ratio, 3/6. So you will be getting 35,600 2/6, 23,733. Then next amount will be 1/6, 11,867. 866 will come. I have rounded off it to 867. These are the values that you have tried here. After this, next year's interest on capital. Again, interest on capital will not be different. Next year also it will be 12,000, 9,600, 7,200. Okay. Next, we will be calculating the divisible profit. Here also same, 1 lakh minus these three values, interest on capital, you will be getting 71,200. But 71,200 in the second year we are dividing it in the ratio 5:3:2. So here 5:3:2 will be there. I am just extending it. Here it was 3:2:1. So 5:3:2. 71,200 into 5 by 10. You will be getting 35,600. 71,200 into 3 by 10. 21,360 is there. Next is 2 by 10. 14,240 is there. 14,240 is there. Remember, throughout this sum we have assumed the net profit as 1 lakh rupees. Remember that. Keep that in mind. Okay. So 1 lakh rupees. So we have done all the wrong amounts. Recorded all the wrong amounts. Now we have to write all the correct amounts. Correct amounts means what are the amount that was supposed to be there in the accounts. So when you are writing correct amounts, we need only the correct divisible profit for first year and correct divisible profit for second year. So correct divisible profit for the first year, how to calculate? You know, first year, if the net profit is 1 lakh and there is no interest on capital, correct, in the correct case, when you are doing the correct accounts, we don't have to give any interest on capital. That means 1 lakh net profit which we have assumed, the 1 lakh net profit completely we will be sharing in the ratio of 3:2:1 in the first year, 3:2:1. That means 1 lakh into 3 by 6 will be for the first person and 2 by 6, 33,333 will be for the next person and 1 by 6, 16,667. 16,666 will come. I have recorded it as 16,667 after rounding it off. 0.666 will come. Again, next year profit is 5:3:2. So we will be doing 5 by 10. Same. Hope you understood from where I am getting this 1 lakh. 1 lakh is basically the net profit that we assumed. Similarly, here also 1 lakh. So 1 lakh we are dividing in 5:3:2 ratio. So 50,000, 30,000 and 20,000. After writing the wrong amounts, correct amounts, next step is just find out the total of these two amounts separately. Total of wrong amounts, total of correct amounts. Total of wrong amounts, total of correct amounts. So as you can see here, total of wrong amounts when we are checking, we will be adding each partner's wrong amounts and correct amounts separately. So 35,600 plus 12,000 plus 35,600 plus 12,000 will be 95,200. Next person 9,600 plus 23,733 plus 9,600 plus 21,360, 64,293, 7,200, 11,867 plus 7,200 plus 14,240, 40,507. These are the things, total of the wrong amounts. Similarly, we are going to write the total for the correct amounts. First person it is 1 lakh, second person it is 63,333, third person it is 36,667. After this, next step we are extending the table a little bit more, and what are we doing? We are going to find out the difference between these wrong amounts and correct amounts. When you are doing that, we will be getting 95,200 minus 1 lakh, which will be 4,800, as we started with the wrong amounts, answer will be negative. We will discuss what is the meaning of negative and all. And again 64,293 minus 63,333, positive 960 you will be getting. Similarly 40,507 minus 36,667, 3840 will be there. Okay, these values you will get. This is also positive. Meaning of this difference is like this. Here, because of the errors that we committed while preparing the accounts, some people have got extra money in their capital accounts which they have to return back to the people who has got negative value. That means here, as you can see, 4,800 is there, negative value. That means because of these errors, the person, that means first person, is actually getting 4,800 rupees less, which other partners have got it in some manner. So as you can see, 3,840 and 960, when you are adding, you are getting 4,800 as the total. That means because of this mistake, one person is getting less amount and the other two partners are getting more amounts in their accounts. In their accounts means basically capital account only. So that is what we have done here. So what we did first, we have written all the wrong amounts. When you are writing the wrong amounts and while totaling the wrong amounts or correct amounts, whatever it is, always make sure that this wrong amounts, whatever you have written here, all these amounts are going to the credit side of the capital account. If it is debit side amounts that we are recording here as wrong amount or correct amount, then instead of adding it while totaling, we have to deduct it. That is also there. So please keep that in mind. Okay. So when you are preparing it. So next is, so first we found the wrong amounts. We have mentioned that. Then we have found the totals. Then again next is correct amounts. Correct amounts we have recorded it. Then found the difference. Difference coming as negative means that person has actually received or he is supposed to receive this much money from others, because others have gained from these errors. This person has sacrificed from these errors. So entry for this question was what? What was the question? You are required to give necessary journal entry, adjustment entry or adjusting entry on 1st April 2014. That means this year, as you can see, 31st March 2014, 31st March 2013 is what, where we committed the errors. Now it is 1st April 2014. So 2014 first day, we are going to rectify these errors. Okay, rectify the errors. Basically, it is called past adjustment. So entry will be like this. Second partner's name here. Second partner is M. So M's current account debtor. Why I wrote current account here? Because the question clearly says that their fixed capitals were. That means adjustment entry also, whenever partners are using fixed capital method, you know that adjustment or whatever entries are there, whatever things are there, most of the amounts that are related to the partners will be recorded in the current accounts only. So whenever they are using the word fixed capital in the question, instead of writing if that part was not there, then entry will be M's capital account debit or debtor. So here M's current account, why we are writing? Because in the question it was mentioned that it is which one? The fixed capital method that they are following. Okay, so M's current account debit, whatever you got as difference in M's column you can write. The third partner's name was G. So next, G's current account debtor 3840 to first person's name was K. So K's current account will be writing 4,800 here. So let me explain this entry again. Entry's meaning is like this. We are actually debiting the current account of the partners. When we are debiting it, actually we are reducing the money from current account of the partners and we are transferring it to some other partner. Because the other partner has suffered a loss or a kind of deficiency in the amount that he has received or he has recorded or he or she has received in the account. That is capital account. So capital account is showing deficient amount for that partner. So we are adjusting that amount by taking the amount from the other two partners' capital account. Here capital account is not there. Normally it will be capital account. Here we are taking it from the current account. So current account, the reason why we have mentioned current account here is because it is mentioned in the question that they are following which method? Fixed capital method. This is the entry. After this you can close it. The narration will be what is there? The rectification of wrong interest on capital provided, that is the narration, at the rate of, and we can write also the rate at the rate of 6%. So again, let us discuss the question, those who have not understood the question. So as the question says, there were 3 partners in the beginning. They were doing, after the accounts of the partnership has been prepared, we found that it was discovered that for the years ending 31st March 2013 and 2014, interest on capital has been allowed to partners at the rate of 6%. The question clearly says that in the partnership deed, although there is no provision for interest on capital in the partnership deed, that is what is mentioned. That means partnership deed does not specify any interest rate of interest on capital. That means we are not supposed to pay any interest, but we have already allowed the interest on capital. So in this situation, what we are supposed to do, we have to reverse the amounts, interest on capital, whatever we have written. Also they are saying one more thing, during the last 2 years they had shared the profits as under. Year and profit is given 31st March 2013, 3:2:1 is there, and 31st March 2014, 5:3:2. Most of the students, when they reach this part of the question, they will get confused. They will think like profit sharing ratio was 1:1:1, and they have shared it wrongly in the past 2 years. That is not what it means. Here clearly they have mentioned in the question that in the partnership deed, the only thing that is missing is interest on capital, rate of interest on capital. That means profit sharing ratio, the ratio in which they have shared the profit during the past 2 years are correct only. Unless they say that there was no profit sharing ratio mentioned in the partnership deed, this profit sharing ratio that they have followed is correct. So there is no problem with that. Then next doubt will be, then why they have given this profit sharing ratio if everything was correct? Problem is not with the ratio in which they have shared the profit. Problem is with the amount that they have shared in this ratio. I mean, we know that once when partners are going to receive the profit, we will be preparing what? Profit and loss appropriation account, and will record all the amounts, appropriations there, and finally we will get the divisible profit. Divisible profit is the amount that we are going to finally share with the partners. So here divisible profit, which we have done for the 2 years, are actually wrong. That is the purpose of this ratio which is given here in the question. So 2 mistakes happened. One is wrong interest on capital for the 2 years, wrong divisible profit also for the 2 years. Ratio is correct, keep that in mind. Now for the purpose of question, as I told in the initial part of the question, we are following a different method for solving this question. So we are assuming that net profit of the year was 1 lakh rupees. Okay, we are just assuming that net profit, any amount you can assume. The net profit we are taking as 1 lakh rupees. So 1 lakh rupees is the net profit. You must be thinking whether we can take 2 lakh, 3 lakh and all. You can take any values. As I said before, you can assume any values as net profit. Now we are going to make the adjustment table with wrong amounts and correct amounts. Wrong amounts, what are the wrong amounts? For the past 2 years. First year, 2 wrong amounts we have recorded, that is 1 wrong interest on capital and wrong profit, divisible profit. Similarly again, wrong interest on capital in the second year, wrong divisible profit in the second year. So first we have recorded the interest on capital. Interest on capital was 6%. On which value have we calculated the interest on capital? Already fixed capitals are given in the question, 2 lakh, 1 lakh 60 and 1 lakh 20 respectively. Where as it is fixed capital that is given in the question, there is no change between opening capital and closing capital. So we can take the same value as the base for 6% calculation. And we have calculated 6% for the first partner as 12,000 and second partner as 9,600 and the third partner as 7,200. Next we have mentioned divisible profit. Divisible profit, how to calculate? Those who don't know divisible profit calculation, just see. Look here. That is, when you are preparing the profit and loss appropriation account, only we can find out the divisible profit. As the net profit, obviously profit and loss appropriation account starts with the net profit. 1 lakh was the net profit. So interest on capital will be whatever interest on capital for each partner first year, 12,000, 9,600, 7,200. 12,000, 9,600, 7,200. 28,800 will be there. Now this is the total of interest on capital. Now after finding out the difference between credit side and debit side, you will be getting 71,200 as the divisible profit. This divisible profit is what they have shared in the ratio of 3:2:1 in the first year. This is first year's appropriation account. Similarly, second year's appropriation account also you have to imagine, or you have to just subtract the values and find the final divisible profit. So divisible profit anyways, it is not going to change for both the years. Both will be 71,200 only, but the ratio in which they are going to share the divisible profit changes. So 71,200 will be shared in the ratio 3:2:1 in the first year. When it comes to the second year, it will be shared in the ratio of 5:3:2. So we have found both the values, first year's divisible profit and how it is shared. 35,600, 23,733.333 it is coming. So I just have rounded it off to 23,733, and the third value is 11,866.666 will come. So I have rounded off to the next number, 11,867. I don't think you have any doubt in rounding off. Okay. Now coming to the second year's interest on capital, same values are coming as interest on capital, same divisible profit will be coming, but ratio is different. So we are dividing it that 5:3:2 ratio. Which value? 71,200 itself we are dividing in the ratio of 5:3:2. So as you can see here, 35,600 will be coming for the first person, second person 21,360, third person 14,240 is there. Now correct amounts are there. So after this wrong amounts we have done. Wrong amounts, again to explain what do you mean by wrong amounts. The amounts which are already written wrongly in the capital account of the partners are taken as wrong amounts here. Now next is correct amounts. The amount which are supposed to be there in the capital account of the partners is taken as correct amounts here. Only divisible profit should be there, no interest on capital should be there in the capital accounts. When you are taking wrong amounts and correct amounts, remember one more thing, the amounts which are written on the debit side of the partners capital account, when you are totaling, later we are coming to totaling part. So when you are going to total that all the values, wrong amounts separately and correct amounts separately, debit side amounts should be deducted. Instead of adding, it should be deducted. So correct amounts we are writing. Correct amounts, first year it was divisible profit, correct amount will be 50,000, 33,333.33 will be coming. I have rounded it off to 33,333 itself. Next is 16,666 will be coming, 0.666 will be coming. I just rounded it off to 16,667. Next, divisible profit for second year, again same amount, 1 lakh only. Again the doubt that you are having will be 1 lakh. Again, why it is 1 lakh, why it is not 71,200? 71,200 we will get as divisible profit only when we consider the interest on capital. Here are we considering the interest on capital? No, because when you are preparing, these are all wrong profit and loss appropriation account which they have done. We are going to prepare, if you are going to prepare the correct profit and loss appropriation account, suppose correct profit and loss appropriation account, first we will be writing the net profit which is 1 lakh. Left side or debit side we don't have anything to write, so you will be writing what? To capital, and you will be sharing the profits, what our partners names are. So you will be sharing the profits. Then 1 lakh, that is how this 1 lakh came as divisible profit. 1 lakh came as a divisible profit. If not, it won't come. Similarly, divisible profit of second year, 1 lakh into 5:3:2. So 3:2:1 in the first year, 5:3:2 in the second year. 1 lakh came because it is the divisible profit for the second case. When you are recording the correct amounts, obviously when it comes to correct dividing of profits, net profit itself is the divisible profit, because we don't have any other amounts to be recorded in the profit and loss appropriation account. So we are recording it like that: 50,000, 30,000, 20,000 and 50,000, 33,333 and 16,667. In this, then we have found the total as both the amounts. Divisible profit is going to the credit side of the partners capital account. We have recorded like that. We have totaled it without deducting any values. Both are going to the credit side, so we are adding it. Again, these values, the 4 values which I have written here, all these values are generally going to the credit side of partners capital account. So we have recorded it, totaled it, and when we totaled it, first partner is getting 95,200, second 64,293, and the third partner is getting 40,507. Similarly, when it comes to correct amounts, first partner is getting 1 lakh, second partner is getting 63,333, and third partner is getting 36,667. Now our next step is just find out the difference between the total of wrong amounts and total of correct amounts. Do it in that order only. So wrong amounts first, followed by correct amounts total. So here, as you can see, wrong amounts total was 95,200 for the first person. You should deduct 1 lakh from that value. So you will be getting negative 4,800. Remember that negative part. So that is why I put it in bracket. So negative 4,800. You must be familiar with writing negative and all when it comes to past adjustments. Still, those who don't know, keep that in mind. Negative 4,800. Similarly, next person 64,293 minus 63,333. You will be getting 960. Similarly, 40,507 minus 36,667. You will be getting 3840. As you can see, for the other two partners, we have got positive values, and the first partner we have got negative value. It means that because of the error, the first partner has suffered a loss of 4,800, which should be compensated by the other two partners who has gained because of this mistake. Okay, so their gains total will be equal to the loss that is suffered by the third partner. When you are adding this 3,840 and 960, obviously you will be getting 4,800. That means these two people have to contribute that money back to the partner who is suffering the loss because of this mistake. So for that we have to pass the entry. So while passing the entries, we have to debit the partner's capital account or current account based on the question, who has suffered the who is getting the gain. So here two partners are getting the gain. So we have debited their current account. Reason why we have debited the current account instead of capital account is, reason is what? Because question specifies that they are following fixed capital method. The fixed capital method is mentioned, all the adjustments, the amount which we are taking from the account, the amount which is given to the other partner, everything will be adjusted to the through the current account of the partners only. So M's current account debit, we have taken 960 from the account. G's current account debit, we have taken 3,840, and it is transferred to the other partner's current account as 4,800. Narration will be rectification of wrong interest on capital provided, or we can say rectification of interest on capital provided at the rate of 6% per annum. Okay, so this is how you have to do this kind of sums. I hope I made the entire sum clear. We have done a different method. I just wanted to introduce this method to you so that some of you who are finding it difficult with the normally followed method, okay, can find this method comfortable. I think this method is comfortable to you. I wish you all the very best once again for your board exam preparations. Thank you.